This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons
And
Omni Hotels and Resorts.
brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Choose VA. Veterans get the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
now your hosts, Shannon Gross and Brad Sham.
And welcome, everybody. What day is it? What day is
I
it?
think it's Victory Monday.
It's Victory Monday.
Let's go! Give us a let's go, Randy.
Let's go. That's like 6 in a row, ain't it?
It is.
Victory Monday?
It's not like
Well,
6 in a row. It is 6 in a row.
Yeah, close enough.
Those are the dulcet tones of the great Randy Gregory. Welcome him for
Thank you.
coming
Appreciate
in and
you
being
having
with
me.
us. And I just have to say, those of you who listen regularly know this is our usual Monday night stop during the season. We are in the South Concourse of the Ford Center at the Star, and we have room for a studio audience and some who have participated either on the radio or by checking out DallasCowboys.com or from being here in person have caught on to this Victory Monday thing, because we've got several people who have made signs that say Victory Monday, and we're getting used to it. We like it. We like
We
it.
love
so
it.
Thank you.
We love
Plenty
it.
more to come.
Many more to come. Victory Monday, and how about the defense last night?
Woo!
And
Good.
You guys were okay last night.
We're okay.
Yeah.
We got the job done. What is it, 16 points? It's not bad.
if you'll do that, I said it. Well, it might have been at halftime, but I said if they'll just do this every week, everybody will be very happy at the end of the year. And that's hard to do in this league. But I would like to just talk about the team defensive effort last night, because on paper, that was a matchup that could have been difficult, could have been more problematic. On paper, I said on paper. It could have been more problematic. Randy, for those of you who are not watching on DallasCowboys.com, Randy is smirking and biting his lip and trying not to say
Trying to hold it
anything
in.
untoward. And so the game plan that your coaching staff gave you was very effective, and the way you all executed it was nearly perfect. Things will happen in a game. They go out and score right away, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all. Thanks for shopping. See you later. So what was different last night? Because I'm certain it was, as a group, it was the best defensive effort of the year, at least the result.
Yeah, definitely a result. That's the result you want every week. I think for us, a lot of us have been talking about having a neutral mindset. You know, we keep preaching that. And that's one of the things we work on Fridays. We have our little state program. We do a little mental awareness, kind of just mental, up your performance mentally, you know, kind of a little meeting we have. And that's what we talk about a lot, just having a neutral mindset. You know, they came out there first drive, scored pretty quickly, but I think we settled in as the game progressed. I think I saw a stat where they were like 1 of 13 on third down.
1 of 13 is what you
Yeah.
held them to on third down.
And it's hard to lose games when you play that well defensively. And but yeah, I think guys executed out there. I think during practice this week, we really didn't have the intensity we wanted. So it was nice to go out there and actually have it and show it on the field this week.
Several of you were one of them, said that on Wednesday or Thursday, that Wednesday, the first practice back after the bye, nobody seemed really happy with it. Mm-hmm. And so was Thursday not only marginally better?
I would say marginally, yeah. It was a little bit better. You know, the thing is, not every day is going to be perfect. We understand that. One of the things we can't control is how we step on the field and our attention to detail and level of intensity and things like that. And as a professional, you're kind of expected to have that day in and day out. And we had that on the weekend, you know, yesterday. So got to continue that over the course of a whole year.
Do you not agree that it was the best defensive performance as a team of the year so far?
I would say it's up there. I would say we set the bar pretty high for ourselves, and we're going to continue to do that.
Which game was better?
Oh, they were all pretty good, I felt like.
Well,
you know?
I mean, yes.
I'm
Most
never
of
going to
them.
say we played terribly. You know, I think we're correcting a lot of things, and guys are finding out things they're really good at. And I think even the coaches are, you know, they're tinkering with different formations and stuff, trying to figure out how to utilize guys the best way possible. And guys are executing on it. Guys are, taking those opportunities and really going out there and playing some good ball.
I've heard the term neutral mindset a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Explain someone to me, like someone like me that has no idea what that means. What is a neutral mindset?
Well, never, I guess, get too high when things are going well and never get too low. Football and just life in general, you're going to have a lot of adversity, a lot of ups and downs, and it's cliche, but it's the truth. And you see that on games on Sundays, and obviously, yesterday was a prime example, that first drive. And there's games, I would say probably Carolina, where we got out of that a little bit, got up big and kind of settled down and got comfortable and let them get back in the game. I don't think we were ever in danger of losing it, but you want to build the right foundation, for games in the future, playoff games, Super Bowls, things like that, the big games, And so we got to get better at that, and I think we have been.
Teams, especially young teams, which especially on your side of the ball you are, teams tend to grow and improve over the course of the season. They gel together. They learn each other. Each young player certainly gets better. It seems very clear to me that we are not yet. We're 2 weeks from the halfway point of the season, and your defense is markedly better than the team that went on the field in Tampa. And it would not surprise me at all if we said the same thing 6 or 7 weeks from now, that you were better than at mid-season. You're smiling, so I presume you agree with the basic. And so why are you better, and what are you better at, and where can you improve? Not you personally, as a group.
I've always felt like, every game we've played this year, even Tampa Bay, we've had a chance to really close out teams and close them out early. And, you can almost feel it, at least defensively when we're out there. We can feel just us taking everything the offense has throughout the game. It just builds up on them. You wear them down. You see with the O-line, they wear down.
You did it to Philly. You broke their spirit. Their body language changed.
You really do. And football is a physical sport, but it's just as much mental. And if you can break someone's will early and let them know what type of night it's going to be, it can set you up for the rest of the game and make life a lot easier for you.
And can you quantify, is this even possible, how much better you have a chance to be as a group when you get DeMarcus Lawrence back and Neville Gallimore back, maybe Tristan Hill back?
Yeah. We're going to get better. I think, the main things, we have a lot of guys. We have a young team, obviously, but we have a lot of guys that are even rookies out there, playing a lot of snaps, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago about the fact we're going to have, D-Law coming back, Neville coming back, a lot of guys coming back in the D-Law room, and everybody has their role, and everyone needs to understand their role. And the one thing I will say about this team as a whole is that I really feel like everyone knows what their role is. No one steps out of it, and no one has a problem with their role. They understand what it takes to win games in this league and win the big one. And I just think that speaks to the level of cohesiveness that we have as a team, not just, on the defense, but obviously on the offense too.
Part of that role is in the question of off the field and leadership. Everyone has their role there too.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Definitely.
If you'd asked me in the summer, I would have said in the defensive room, that's DeMarcus Lawrence's room. He's the leader. That's what I would have said. Still is. Okay. Yeah. And yet people are growing into roles of leadership and by example and that kind of thing, and I'm looking right at you. Yeah. I'm looking right at
Naturally, too. Naturally, it happened. I think that's the best way. I know I was kind of put in a leadership council and things like that, but the best thing for me is kind of let me lead my own way and naturally grow into that spot, that role. And I can't say enough about Coach McCarthy, Rob Davis, AD, DQ, everyone, as far as coaches go, and front office believing in me to be that type of leader. And I'm still learning every day. I have to check myself, sometimes when I want to take the shortcut, and I have to realize there's a lot of guys that are looking at me. If they see me take that shortcut, maybe they take it too, and that's not championship football. So I'm growing into that role still. There's a lot of guys that are also, and it's only going to make us better. I really feel like it's helping me up my game on the field.
Talking about roles, have you and Basham taken on the self-appointed role of best trash talkers on the team? Because you guys, I'm down there with you during the games and pregame, and you guys have fun.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are really enjoying football. Yeah. Like, you're like a couple of kids, and you're taking digs at each other, but you're competitive. Like, you guys have fun on game day, don't you?
We do. At the end of the day, you know, it's a children's sport, but it's a man's game is the best way I can put it. You know, we've been playing this game for a long time. And it's always going to be fun to the day I stop playing. But, you know, when you got guys like Bash, it makes it that much more enjoyable. I will say I think I probably talk more trash than him, at least for the course of the game, you know. I can keep up with that all game. I don't think he can. But he's not here to really, you know, vouch for himself.
He says he's the energy guy.
He's the energy guy. He's the guy he's the hype man. He's the guy you want with you pregame and, you know, on the sideline if you're down a little bit. But hands down, I think I talk the most trash on the whole defensive unit.
There's no way. The answer to your question is no.
Is there a PG version of something you said this
Probably
game?
not.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I don't even know if I can try to do that for you.
No.
After the show, in the break.
After the show,
please don't. But what I would like to know is, can you get an offensive tackle to talk back to you and throw him off his game?
Oh, yeah. They usually do. Early on, there's a select few that didn't this year. But early on they do, and like we talked about earlier, you break their will, you get a sack on them, they get kind of quiet, and you know, that's happened the last few weeks. You know, we just keep pressing, and eventually those guys break down. They don't have the energy to sit there and talk with you all game.
Have you ever made Tyron say anything besides a grunt in any practice?
No, I made him laugh.
Yeah.
When I try to beat him and he just picks me up like a little kid or something. But I've never, other than that, you'll get a little grunt here and there and a good move right there. That's about it. That's about it. That's all you're going to get from him, you know. Good dude, but, you know, that's about it.
Would you believe we actually had him here a couple of weeks ago? He did this show. He's done it. He's done it every year.
A lot.
He's done it every year.
Other than grunts?
Yes.
Other than
really?
grunts.
Yes.
Other than grunts. So
no, I believe it.
It's possible.
He's a good guy. When he speaks well when he does speak, but you know he's locked in so much. I feel like when he's on the field, that just phases out.
Tyron's a simple soul. Mm-hmm. You're a little more complicated, and it's one of the
I would definitely agree with that.
And it's one of the things we love about you. And we're gonna. I say all the time, for the decades I've been doing this, that my favorite part of this show is that it gives the public a chance to meet you guys as human beings and see your senses of humor and the things that concern you, and you're not just a number on a shirt with a cage on your head, and I love that part of it, and I could not be more delighted to have the full Randy Gregory experience with us tonight. Yeah, this is
a long time
this
coming.
is good. Yes, it has, and there's so much more to come.
Yes, sir.
You know what, Randy? When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, you should go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. You can get 10% off your groceries every Cowboys game day if you wear your jersey after the game in there to shop, or before the game.
I was going to say, what about before the game?
He can go before if it's a night game. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
What would you give to see Randy Gregory at 8 o'clock Sunday morning before a noon game?
Full uniform?
Stroll into your Tom Thumb in his jersey.
A lot.
You wouldn't see it. Wouldn't happen.
Never say never.
No offense to Tom Thumb or Albertson.
No, never say never. Yeah. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
You know what? Lucchese usually take this one, but I'll do it. Lucchese,
I want you to.
They're the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
It's the Cowboys Hour on what?
Victory Monday. Let's
Thank
go.
you very much. We'll be right back with Randy Gregory in just a moment.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
And welcome back, and thank you, those of you who are joining us wherever you are joining us on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, and especially those of you who are here at the Ford Center at the Star. Come on out, be part of our little group on almost every Monday night, and you can stream it during the week whenever you like on DallasCowboys.com. Brad Sham, Shannon Gross, and Randy Gregory.
Randy. Mr. Randy Gregory.
You know, I feel like, so you were drafted in 2015, right? And officially, this is your fourth year, but you're 7 years into it. And, But I feel like you're just starting your career. Do you feel that way?
I mean, games-wise, I think I haven't played that many, so legs are still somewhat fresh. I mean, I still have little nicks here and there, but for the most part, yeah, my body feels like it's still like in my second, third year, you know.
But you have these accumulated years of knowledge and experience, but now with I don't know if it's just this year but in the last certainly year and a half, 2 years, it feels like, it looks like, look from the outside that you have a whole new command of your life, and you know now how to live your life and maximize the platform you've been given via the gifts you've been given.
Definitely.
Does that all that make sense?
Yeah, I think it starts with, me being grateful and understanding my blessings, for one. I've always said, like, my personal life and professional life kind of go hand in hand. And when I'm struggling on one side of it, I'm struggling on the other. And I think last year, was the first time I could really say I had everything in order at once. And it actually gave me a chance to really focus on football and get better mentally around the game. I think physically I've always been there. I needed to get a little bit stronger, I think, in the game. But as far as, like, mentally, that was one of the things I always needed to work on, understanding the why, the whys of everything I'm doing, whether it be a pass rush or a particular formation, whatever it may be. And that's the same thing off the field. Why am I doing this? Is this beneficial to me? Is this going to hurt what I'm doing? Is this going to affect my family, my future, things like that? And I've always said I still make mistakes, and I probably still make as many mistakes as I did before, but they're not as bad, and I'm a lot better as far as kind of picking myself back up and, getting the ball rolling again and things like that. And that's kind of like what we talked about with the neutral mindset. That goes obviously in your personal life too. So.
But you're not making the same kinds of mistakes all the time as you did before, are you?
No, well, it depends on who you ask, probably.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
I still get in trouble here and there at home. I still annoy my mom here and there. I'm sure I annoy my kids, obviously. But, the good thing is like I said, I have everything in order. Everyone knows I have good intentions, and, I mean well, and I only want what's best for myself and everyone around me. So
and by the way, that when you say that, my sense is that's not in a selfish way.
No.
What's best for yourself, because when one travels the road you have traveled to get here, what's good for yourself means, just tell me if I'm wrong about this.
Good for everyone else. Right?
Well, it means what's healthy for you,
Definitely.
and therefore mentally and physically and emotionally, and therefore everyone you touch is going to benefit from that.
Definitely.
Am I okay with that?
I would agree. Yeah, I think I wouldn't say I'm selfish now, and if I am, it's in the right way. In the past, I definitely would say I was selfish. I'd like to think that I had a lot of help from all different angles, whether it be the team, my family. I mean, my parents basically moved down to Texas just to really help me, and I was real selfish around that time. No one could tell me anything. I felt like I had it all figured out, and I was gonna go down crashing and burning if I had to. And it took me a while to realize what I was doing was really harming not only me but my family. And took me a while to just, as I see myself up there on the screen. Sorry.
It's all right to want to look at yourself.
And that's one of the things, now I can kind of take time to really appreciate some of the things I do on and off the field, and, give myself a pat on the back, because a lot of times in the past I really couldn't do that. And I always saw the flaws in myself. So I'm definitely in a better place now than I was in the past. And, I get blessings every week just, being Randy Gregory. It's great.
Usually in life, we all continue to grow, and we all, mature. Usually there's people along the way, both personal life, football's a job, work life. You have mentors, you have people that help you, guide you. And have there been any really strong influences with you that you talked about personal development and growing and things? Who's helped you along that way?
It's a big mix. As far as at home, I would definitely say, my girlfriend, she's my rock. I was hoping she'd be here tonight, but she keeps me sane when 99% of the time I feel like I'm insane. She keeps a tight leash on me, but it's a good thing. And like we talk about having roles at on the team, roles at home, and play my role well. So.
See, you're smart, which we knew.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble,
which we knew.
I learned from my dad, all those years I lived at home. But yeah, and then obviously my parents, I can't say enough about them as far as them helping me out, just anything I need, And I talked about Rob Davis. He's been one of the guys that's helped me out I'd say the most in the building as far as making sure my mind was right and having everything in order, so I could really go out there and perform the best I can. And Coach AD, DQ, Coach McCarthy, I literally could, Coach Edwards, my agent. There's a lot of people, not just me, that played into my progression to the point I am now. And I'm gonna need just as many people and those same individuals to get to where I want to go in the future.
So here's an example to me of your increased maturity. You seem to fully understand the benefit that can accrue from the way you embrace your story. You know people want to talk to you about it. You know people want to hear about it. I know that you have to be sick of talking about it sometimes, because the things that happened to you, the things that you did, just like any other human being, those things help shape who you are today, and they are not who you are. They are who you were sometimes. They were things you did. But your apparent, I would say, evidenced maturity in embracing that, yes, I know that people want to talk to me about it, and I've never heard or seen you be anything other than patient. Whatever you were feeling inside, what you exhibit is patience, and I'll talk to you about it, sure.
Yeah, I try to, because I understand the importance of it. Do I necessarily enjoy talking about it? Not all the time. You know that.
Yeah.
I don't. And I think that's more of just because of I don't feel like, and this goes with a lot of things in my life, but sometimes I don't feel like I'm that person that needs to be speaking about it, Sometimes I feel like my journey or my story isn't going to affect people the way I want it to, It may affect them in the right way, but not the way I want it to, And so if I don't have control over it, then I'm like, I don't want to, But just speaking about it and being genuine, being as honest as I can, I definitely know that helps. And there's people that tell me that all the time, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And it helps me kind of keep in check, because I do understand that I do inspire some people, and people do enjoy my journey and can relate to it also, So it does help me kind of, put myself in check. I wouldn't call it pressure, but definitely motivation to keep going and keep striving to be better on and off the field.
And the on-the-field part is what I would like to spend a little bit of time on when we come back. We are delighted to have Cowboys defensive end Randy Gregory with us this evening, and delighted to have all of you with us on the Cowboys Hour.
At Omni Frisco Hotel, which Randy is right there.
Right there?
You can probably see your that's
Right
where you're
there?
seeing the video.
I was just up
in
there,
that reflection.
yeah.
Were you? Kick off your stay at the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys with style. Cool off in the elevated pool, savor upscale comfort food at neighborhood services, and enjoy all the dining and entertainment options the Star has to offer. And they have a lot to offer. Visit omnihotels.com/Frisco to learn more and to turn the next home game into a weekend getaway.
Randy Gregory's our guest
Hey!
tonight. We'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour.
the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
And welcome back, Brad Sham, Shannon Gross, and Randy Gregory, the Cowboys star defensive end, who is just getting started. Just getting started. You know, I almost hate that guys who play your position are measured by a statistic like quarterback sacks, because I think that the way you're playing, I think one of the great things about DeMarcus Lawrence is the things that he does that don't have statistics with them that change a play in the defense's favor. I see a lot of that in you. And having said that, so you're at 5 sacks now through 7 games, and so you won't get to halfway point of the season until like halftime of Atlanta, which is 2 games down the road. Do you have statistical measurements for yourself that you are trying to achieve?
I'm trying to be the best at my position, you know, and be the best player I know how to be. I know it sounds like the right answer, but you know that's the truth of it. Yeah, I want to lead the league in sacks. If you want to hear that, yeah, I do.
Only want to hear it if it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
And if it's important, I mean.
It is. It is. I think at this point in my career, it is, obviously, for a few reasons. But like I've said in the past, I'll say it again. I think if I'm playing well and those numbers come that I want to have, that means that we're playing well collectively as a team.
So in training camp, when I watched you, of course, last year training camp was as ridiculous as everything else. But when we got out to Oxnard and I looked at you, having seen your whole career, now I don't know if you were bigger than you were in the past. When you came in, you had bird legs. Your legs were so skinny.
I still do. What you mean?
But there is muscular definition.
They look bigger now because they're swollen. That's all.
Well, no. I looked at you in Oxnard, and I watched you a little bit, and I said, okay, first of all, he just looks bigger, but he hasn't lost a scintilla of quickness and speed. And I said, this is after about a week, I said, of any player on this team who's going to have a breakout year, of course, I had no idea Diggs was going to lose his mind and intercept 7 passes in the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But I said, of any player on this team, 94 is the guy who's going to have a breakout year. And would you say you're on track for that? I know you haven't done everything you've wanted to do yet. Yeah. You've even missed a game. Would you say you're on track?
Yeah. Took 7 years, but yeah, I would say it's I got to keep it going. I don't want to get too satisfied with my play and then have goose eggs throughout the rest of the year. But yeah, I mean I'm confident in my play. I'm confident in my body. Despite what the little minor injuries you may have, getting my body to the right weight because it did fluctuate a lot. I think when I came in. The first time I weighed in with the Cowboys in 2015, I was like 228. And I was 238 at the combine. So that just, and so just get my body to the right weight. And I've played at the weight I'm at now, even in college at one point. So I've always been able to carry the weight and, keep that quickness and things like that. But I definitely feel like it's made me more of a complete player. Still have some things I got to work on as far as, being an all-down defensive end. But definitely think it's going in the right direction.
Brad was talking about stats that you can't really measure. Sacks, obviously, tackles, things like that. In seeing a professional football game at field level is a whole different kind of violence. Mm-hmm. And you are so fast, and you are so quick, and this year you're playing with violence. Mm-hmm. Can you tell when a quarterback gets scared? Can you see that in their eyes? What would your fear rating be in Madden?
No, I definitely could see them get scared. They I don't care who you are. You could be the greatest quarterback ever. You got guys coming for your neck every play and hitting you. Eventually that kind of gets in your head
and then talking to you while you're laying on the ground, right?
It's some crazy type of violence that does go on out there. It really is. You know, I joked about it the Carolina game, just the amount of like bodies that are just flying around the pocket. You know, you could never pay me to be a quarterback in the league with the amount of abuse they take. But I'm happy to hand out that abuse. I really am, so, yeah.
I will say this, though. It's not just quarterbacks. To me, and I know you've got an assortment of moves, and you're always working to improve them, but the most fearsome thing that I see you do is when you run the inside stunt. If a center looks up and sees you coming like a giant bird of prey flying out of the air, that's got to get your attention.
Yeah, it does. I think that's one of the things I talk about with, you know, Coach AD, just putting guys in a position to make a play and understanding what we do well. And I think for us, stunts and games, all of us on the D-line can move, and got a lot of guys that can flex in and play D-tackle, flex out and play in. And with that, you know, we mix in all these different games and stuff like that. And it creates a pretty hectic pocket for, you know, an opposing quarterback. Even if you're not sacking him, you know, like we talked about having those numbers, just knocking him off his spot, getting in his face, hitting him, just pressuring him of any kind, you know, is going to throw him off his game.
This is one of the things that intrigues me the most, and I find that fans really enjoy it. I think fans don't understand how often when you're running a game, it's not necessarily something that came in from the sidelines. You guys decide, hey, so let's pick a tackle, and let's say it's Osa.
Yeah.
How does that work? Talk us through that.
Well, I don't want to tell all our business, but
Well, no, I mean,
no. We just there's little things, there's little subtle things we'll do. You know, if we can tell that it's going to be a pass play, let's say we're expecting run, but we can tell it's going to be a pass just based off of how they're lined up. You know, we'll do that, give a little signal or something on the side. We'll get out.
By the way, if you're watching on DallasCowboys.com, don't look. There was nothing to see here.
Nothing to see.
This is all radio.
The O-line doesn't see it either. That's
right,
why
there
it
you
works.
go. Okay, good.
But, no, you know, we all have our own little subtle way of saying, okay, let's run this game. And there's also naturals. You know, a lot of times, and I keep going back to this Carolina game, but even, you know, yesterday's game was similar where, you know, some quarterbacks, they don't drop back that deep. And they do have a real deep pocket that they can kind of hide and step up in. And a lot of times with that on the end, you have a guy like Osa, really all our D tackles that can really get upfield and penetrate. You know, let them go to work on the D tackle. I'm going to run upfield and naturally come under and not even touch the tackle and go in there and try to get a sack. And there's little things that, you know, I talked about earlier about mentally understanding the why and the hows and things like that. That's an aspect of my game that I didn't have coming into the league that I understand now, that you can pick up little sacks here and there, you know, and you don't really have to do anything. You just fall right into it, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say you don't have to do anything, but I mean,
not anything.
You
got to play. Yeah.
Are you to the point with any of the tackles yet where you can just look at them, like look at each other and maybe nod your head or something, and everybody knows what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, generally we know. I mean, there's times even when, you know, we'll have our base package out there, and it's up to us to decide what we're going to run out there, you know. And I think that speaks volumes as far as the coaches having trust in us and we having trust in each other and understanding the playbook and all the little things that goes into, you know, rushing the passer and just playing as a whole.
Shannon, I wonder if I might impose on you to make this right now this part that I've come to enjoy so much of this program every week.
Ah, yes, Randy. It's that time of the show where we read your Wikipedia page.
Oh, you got to skip through a lot of that.
I already did. I censored it for you. So we'll get to the stuff that we just want to know. You fact check this with us. We read it. I didn't put this down. This is what the people put down, and then you fact check it with us. And if it's wrong, I go back after the show and I update it.
Fair enough.
That's a lie. He's never done that.
Brad's already given my gig up like 6 weeks into the season. So, all right, here we go. Randy Gregory says you were born November 23rd, 1992.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
Good so far. And it says you're an American football defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys of the National Football League.
Sounds about right.
All right, two for two. Played college football at Nebraska and was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the second round of the 2015 NFL Draft. All right. You were born in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
It says, and you moved 8 different times.
That might be our first one here.
Okay. Which I thought it was interesting that 8, they came up with 8.
It may have been 7 or 8. I was born in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Tennessee. I lived in Alabama. I lived in Ohio. I lived in Missouri. I lived in Indiana. And technically, I've lived in Michigan also. And that's before I basically went to college. So
Wow.
That was 7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll have to update that from
Yeah,
8 to
update
7.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says you attended Hamilton Southeastern High School in Fishers, Indiana,
Yeah, home of the Royals.
where
Yeah.
you were a 2-sport star in football and basketball.
I was all right in basketball.
Okay. We'll
Oh,
get
wait,
to-
no.
I was all right.
When a guy says I was all right,
Yeah.
I was decent.
Well, this says, in addition to numerous scholarship offers in football, you also attracted Division I basketball interest out of high school.
May had a couple offers. Yeah.
Did you? Where at?
from
Mid-major, like MAC schools, like Eastern Michigan, stuff
those,
like that. Mid-major.
teams that make big splashes in the NCAA tournament every year.
Sometimes, yeah. There was what was it? St. Peter's. I don't know if you heard of them. St. Peter's.
Yes.
I think the year there was
In New Jersey?
Yeah, I almost played basketball. I almost quit football my senior
Really?
year. Yeah, I loved basketball by the time I graduated high school, and seriously considered going to St. Peter's to play basketball there, and just didn't work out. Ended up going to junior college, but that following year, they were in the tourney for like 2 straight years. So
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to set up a one-on-one game with you and Zach Martin because, he was known as the Butcher in high school because of his basketball prowess.
I see a mocking sneer.
I see that.
Zach
I
went
think
to
we need to make
Bishop
this happen.
Chatard. He went to Bishop Chatard. They recruit people to play sports there. Yeah. I went to public school. We just
Did you show
we just
up?
show up. You go to your 7 classes and
Same.
you play. Him, he's got the tutor and all that. It's like college for him.
Yeah. This kind of guy he is.
All right, we got 2 more paragraphs to get through here. It says you enrolled at Arizona Western College.
Yeah.
Okay, as a freshman in 2011, you had some stats here, and you helped the team reach the NJCAA title game.
Yeah.
All right, and you originally committed to Purdue, but you went to Nebraska, and as a sophomore, you started 10 of 13 games, and your 10.5 sacks led the Big Ten Conference. You were named a first-team All Big Ten and was Nebraska's defensive MVP.
Yeah.
Man,
Good year. Yeah.
And Sporting News listed you as their preseason number 5 player in college football for 2014. And it says in 2014, you also won the Nebraska State Corn Shucking Championship by shucking 183 ears of corn in 5 minutes.
Do y'all believe that? No?
That's you.
We fact checked that. No, that's not true.
You made
That's
that
not
part
true.
up.
I just threw that in as the
Nah,
bonus.
that's not
So,
true.
yeah, there you go.
There's the Wikipedia. Randy Gregory's Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
You who are here at the Ford Center, get your questions ready. We'll put the microphone out for you to talk to Randy Gregory when we come back.
the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham, Shannon Gross. Delighted to have Randy Gregory as our guest this evening, Cowboys' talented defensive end. How can you account for how you can be so introspective and clearly one of the smartest players we've ever had the opportunity to visit with, and then on Sunday just go completely berserk? How do you account for that?
That's my dad, to be honest. My dad was like that. He's a gentle giant. He's a big dude, kind of like me. I am bigger than him, but he's a big dude. But he played football, and he's kind of has that switch where he's got like the corporate salesman, smart guy right here, and then he goes into this like dark place that me and Coach AD talk about. When he puts his mind to just about anything, not just football. And I kind of feel like that's where I got it from. He's a real smart guy. He loves history like me. He loves war history like me. He likes crime docs. That's me and him are both nerds. That's how it works. But we have this level of competitiveness that we bring to just about anything, and especially when it comes to sports. Him being a big sports guy, my mom too. Them raising me that way. That's kind of how me and my brothers grew up. So,
Before we get to the fan questions, I want to talk about game day, because you're one of my favorite players on the team. Probably one of my favorite players that's ever been on the team. Just because you're just a cool, genuine dude. Like the guy you see talking up here. This is Randy, 24/7. A lot of guys have a game day character. Yeah. They get into focus mode. The headphones come on. They lock in. They don't talk. They don't wave. You take it all in. You walk around pregame. You talk. Fans yell at you. You talk back. I've seen you go over and sign autographs. You talk to us. You're just super chill, super relaxed. Have you always been like that, or is that something recent that you've learned to take all this, I guess, journey in? Or
I've always been that way. I think the part that a lot of people they don't see, especially you, is like the drive up to the stadium, the hour, especially like night games. You're just sitting in the hotel room, or, all day, and I'm very anxious leading up to it, and I get more and more confident as I get closer to the stadium. And by the time I get to the stadium, I'm just excited to play. And I think I say it every week. I'm just like, F the pregame, like I'm ready to just play. Like, let's go, Once I get there, I'm ready to go. And so, but yeah, I like taking it all in. There was a point in time where I wasn't able to do this, and it's fun to go in a stadium like, Minnesota's and beat them there. It's fun to go play in front of our crowd and make a big play and have everyone excited and things like that. So, and also, the fan interaction. I've always wanted to be that guy. That tries to reach out and do what I can. If I have the time to take a picture or sign something, I want to do that. And, so I try to take it all in on game day. And as I get closer to, kickoff, I'm just really zeroed in. Not really a headphones guy. Like you said, I'm just real chill. I just kind of sit and just wait for my time. That's it.
The number you wear has been worn by a couple of very distinguished players here. You have much interaction with Charles Haley and DeMarcus Ware ever?
Charles, not recently. I used to a lot, probably more than I wanted, but a lot. A
lot of people say that about Charles.
Yeah, he knows he's difficult sometimes. He knows that, but he's a good guy, and I've learned a lot from him. DeMarcus, I've actually spoken to him a little bit a couple weeks ago, believe it or not, and I think the off season is going to be the time where me and him probably get together. He's a guy I've looked up to since I was a kid, ever since I knew I was going to play defensive end, being in high school and college, and being able to wear that number and play on the same team that he played and kind of carry on that legacy is a big deal for me, and it's cool,
Very cool. Corey, good to have you here.
Hey, Randy, my name is Corey. I just want to say this before I ask my question. I'm very proud of you for fighting through your adversity and being open about mental health. Just continue doing what you're doing, and God going to continue to bless you.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. My question is, at your position, a lot of people talk about sacks are important, but I also feel like quarterback pressures, hits, and hurries are more just as important as sack. Can you talk about the difference with that and how does that impact the game?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to, like you said, you want to impact it any way you can. So pressures are always good. Obviously, the sacks are what everyone wants to look at and see, and that's what's glamorous. That's what's going to get you paid. So I want those numbers. But at the same time, we talk about with like DeMarcus, being able to do things that don't show up on a stat sheet that still affect the outcome, holding calls, it just pressures, hits on a quarterback, things like that. Just as big as getting a sack. It really is, in my opinion.
Playing the run and turning a play back in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. You know, I think the casual fan doesn't pick up on that, but the ones that really understand the game can understand and appreciate a pressure as opposed to a sack. You know, I really believe that.
Thanks, Corey.
Hello, my name's Rambo.
How you doing, Rambo?
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Hey, congratulations yesterday on that win.
Thank you.
I have a question. So, for one, I admire your hustle, and of course, I know that maybe, possibly, you don't agree with some of the penalties. But how hard is it?
What gave that away, Rambo? I mean, what made you think that he didn't agree with those penalties?
My question is, if you're going full speed ahead,
Yeah.
how hard is it? I know it's difficult. I mean, it's almost impossible. I mean, I don't play professional football, but I played football before. It's hard to just stop the momentum.
Yeah.
Can you?
How do you do it?
Yeah. How do you? It's almost impossible. Don't you agree?
Look, you know, my job is to, tackle and get the guy on the ground. You know, I'm not in charge of the flags being thrown. Do I feel like our game's kind of gotten soft? Yeah, of course. I really feel that way. But to answer your question, you know, I've played long enough to know when I need to slow down a little bit. If I know I'm not going to get to the ball carrier, I'm not going to sprint, all the way down, 50 yards down the field. I'm not going to do it. Or if the guy's close to getting out of bounds, maybe I should not hit him anymore. I guess that's what I should do to avoid penalties. I mean, if he's in bounds, I'll just let him, run out of bounds on his own, I guess, now.
I got a follow up to that. When you got that, I guess that second penalty, Coach walked up to you.
Yeah.
He didn't yell at you, didn't scream. He kind of put his hand on you, and he said something to you. What did he say to you right in there in that moment? Or can you repeat that?
Well, no. I mean, he just basically told me to check back in. Mm-hmm. He said, don't worry about the penalties. Just get back out there. We need you. And honestly, that's what I needed to hear in that moment because I was close to getting over the edge. I was almost already there, but, just having him, neutral mindset. We talk about it. I know. But it becomes a pattern. It becomes a behavior when you really talk about it, really harp on it. And that was a prime example right there.
Also meant he was paying attention to you. He was watching
Definitely.
you. And he knew his player
He's
right
a smart
there.
coach.
Yeah.
Very smart coach.
Hey, listen, I wish we had more time. I apologize for the questions we didn't get in. I can't thank you enough for taking the time tonight.
Appreciate
I know you'd like to be laying down with your feet up, but you're doing that to quarterback, so we appreciate that. Randy Gregory, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Shannon Gross, I'm Brad Sham. We'll see you right back here next Monday night on the Cowboys Hour.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,